I think it's safe to say I'm pretty much a sucker for indie animation, whether it be the ones that take the internet by storm or the newer projects just getting off the ground. I have talked about this style of animation for a while, but I've never really talked about the early days of indie animation, specifically animation on YouTube, as there's a surprising amount of projects that also caught the internet by storm only a few years ago, whether it be Astif Movie, Newsground Animations, but one channel in particular has always stood out to me from the rest, as not only have they maintained a streak of projects over the span of a decade now, but have done, quite frankly, the impossible when it comes to independent animation. That's right, today we're going to talk about animator versus animation.
Don't ever do that to a tomato.
Hey guys, it's the Pink King here, and yes, we're finally taking a look at the grandparents of indie animation on YouTube, Alan Becker. This channel is something I have wanted to cover for the longest time now, as not only have they always been consistently on the platform for over a decade now, but have, in my mind, been one of the most inspirational channels I have ever seen, period. I'm not joking. A series about colourful stick figures is not only highly entertaining, but genuinely incredible and engaging. Plus, emotional at times. And the strange thing about all of this is the fact that it should have been impossible to have so many episodes about stick figures, of all things, not only be fun to watch, but genuinely cinematic. Stick figures, the most basic thing for anyone to draw, and somehow turned into fleshed out and unique characters who each have an interesting story to tell, is not only a great achievement, but should have been impossible. Stick figures are very basic things to draw, and from personal experience, are some of the first things anyone who picks up a pencil will draw. But despite how deceptively simple they are, animator versus animation is able to bring these things to life and give them all a unique personality with how they carefully animate their movements as well as their own interests, with each stick figure having their own different hobbies. And did I mention that there's no dialogue? Creating characters with no dialogue is possibly some of the most challenging things you can do in animation, and has only really worked on a few occasions. So let's look at the facts. This series has the challenges of working with very similar basic designs, has no dialogue, and must be able to tell detailed and emotional stories. A lot of people would have considered this very task to be impossible, me included. And yet, not only did they use these aspects to their advantage, they absolutely excelled at them, with each character being identifiable and complex enough in personality that they clearly stand out from one another, and are able to clearly get across the stories and themes they're trying to tell. It's not only amazing, but downright revolutionary. And speaking of revolutionary, we need to talk about probably my favourite aspect of this series, and that's the world building. Ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday the Artist Tournament returns with the semi-finals. 4 artists will go head to head in a fun artistic clash in order to determine who will be challenging for the Artist Tournament Championship of the world. Tune in live this Saturday only on the Pink King channel in order to watch these incredible artists try not to only wow you, but make you laugh with their meme artworks. It's going to be a fun time, so be sure to tune in live this Saturday as it's completely free. You don't want to miss this, and I'll see you all there live this Saturday, only on this channel. The world building of animator versus animation is genuinely probably the most spectacular aspect of the series, as since day one, Alan Becker has used this genius idea to make all these locations all stuff in the real world, whether it be a computer desktop or the internet or even games like Minecraft. They not only managed to get creative with the locations, but also incorporate those locations into the story and ultimately end up building something incredible off that. Because regardless of what anyone says, nobody has done anything remotely close to this concept as well as they have. Using the places the characters visit and even break the fourth wall to incorporate the animators as a part of the story is such a fun and creative choice that manages to fit in perfectly with this world and opens up a lot of potential for future episodes. This series genuinely could go on forever and never get tired because it's just that rich in its concept. Also, can we just talk about how beautiful this series can be? Its animation is not only good, but it's genuinely astonishing. Like, I have studied animation for so long, and every time I watch one of these episodes, I am genuinely just left flabbergasted because I can't figure out how they managed to achieve all the things that they do here, because it's just so clean and effective that even to the trained eye, you don't notice it because you're just too in awe of it. The animation has only gotten better and better as time goes on as well. I don't know how they do it, man. They're wizards. Also, I love how they don't only do animator versus animation. There are plenty of one-off stories thrown in here also, with one of my favorites being animation versus addiction. Because for such a silly idea of colorful stick figures going through very real mental health problems, they handle it really well. And I always get nervous when an indie show like this will try to tackle very serious topics, because it seems like these aspects require a lot of experience and maturity in order to get these themes the respect they deserve. Stuff that a lot of independent animation just simply don't have. But Alan Becker does. They're just so honest and straight to the point with it. They don't sugarcoat anything or try to glamorize any of it. They bring a surprising amount of authenticity and allow the visuals and music to just flow naturally to tell these wonderful stories. It really is such an impressive accomplishment, and in my eyes, is the reason why this channel is so successful, because they have been getting millions of views over the span of a decade consistently. That's several eras of YouTube right there, and yet despite all of those changes, all of those big shifts in the platform, they have managed to consistently be incredible. That in itself should have been impossible to do, and yet they made it work. Plus, they're just genuinely good people. They did not let the fame and attention get to them, and they just remained true to themselves and their concept with healthy growth over time. Although the only real problem is, with all that time and content made, it can be hard for anyone to understand the lore to this series. You know, try to figure out what is canon and what isn't. They definitely have a lot going on here that could be intimidating to new viewers. But despite that, they've done a really good job here, and I feel like we need to be singing the praises of this series more, because it's just so well made and went against a lot of what we expect from YouTube animation, and quite frankly, redefined what is possible for YouTube animation. But what do you guys think? Are you fans of animator versus animation, or is there something about it that struggled to land with you? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I read all of your guys' comments, and also don't forget, this Saturday the artist tournament semi-finals are finally taking place. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys, I swear. And if you enjoy independent artists and just want to laugh, I think you guys are going to love this episode coming this Saturday. Remember, tune in live only on this channel. And with that, peeps, it's been the Pink King here, and I will see you all next time.